Ayo, naughty steppers! Nice for you all to be here once again. And in today's video I am going to be talking about the remix compilation of issue 1 from Odio Records. A record label that came together at the beginning of the year and has put out a slew of impactful releases in that time since. From EPs from Guillotine and Basic to singles from the likes of Triple and Our Enemies, Zenith, Le Lion and more. Managed by Michael Knight, also known as Kit, who has previously worked with the likes of Never Say Die, Circus and Disciple. Adhering to the brutal aspects of the dubstep genre, yet with an adventure and variety that separates it from many other labels in that scene. Something which was reflected most in their inaugural release, issue 1, which provided a wealth of different takes on the dubstep genre, making for a very refreshing and engaging listen overall. So going into this remix compilation, I was left wondering more than anything whether it would dip back into that level of diversity across these 9 remixes. And whilst I wouldn't say it's quite as varied as that original compilation in terms of different dubstep styles, there's a definite diversity when it comes to moods covered from start to finish. The jumpy opening to the compilation in Yari's remix of Guillotine's Madhouse was unexpected but very welcomed, the brightness of which lending an animation to the inevitable carnage that is to follow. We then have the mystifying introduction supplied by both Redax and Misfit Massacre, a distinct feel of the unknown yet with a definite purpose and drive to them. An invigoration that is undeniably shared by Sora, whose introduction is probably my favourite of the bunch. Really gearing us up for something whilst also having that chilled, head-back vibe that comes in those trap-led builds. And then you have the softer approaches adopted by Triple and Spitfire towards the end, the former pensive, the latter more storytelling. Something also accessed by Parnay Muir, although his oozy, muddied opening sequence makes it somewhat more gravelly than the other two I just mentioned. And this is even before I get into the classically gut-wrenching and heartless remix of Sex Whales and Guillotine's Woe by Basic, who definitely seems to have found his style in 2018 with this track and his Tone Death EP. And with these different opening moods come a wealth of various energies that create several exciting avenues of appreciation for this compilation. This is where the drops come into play more, with most here delivering their dose of filth to great effect. And there's a reason why I haven't mentioned Guillotine's remix of Nasco's About You until now. I wasn't too keen to single out specific tracks on this compilation, but for me this one has the most consistent energy to it. That chugging build promising something huge, unleashing a drop of pure terror, dipping in and out of different styles, moods and attitudes fantastically well. Bombastic in its rhythm yet mind-melting in its synth usage, delivers from beginning to end, sapping everything from that style that it has to offer. The Redax remix was also noticeable for me in its willingness to change things up as it progresses. Going from that insane, quick-fire first double drop to the hard-hitting yet intricate second main one, and then further towards the more insistent, isolated style. Other moments of attention-grabbing drop individuality include Yari's opening remix. Frantic and a little strange but weirdly lovable with a slight festival twang to it at points. Furthermore, in the closing song, Spitfire comes through with a seemingly altogether different approach to what has preceded it. Ending the compilation with a rapid final drop, his drastically different approach once again a fitting end to an audio compilation, fading blissfully off into the distance in its final seconds. I also wanted to make a quick note of the Parnay Muir track, which to me is a very interesting one. One that doesn't give off too much on the surface, but when you really dig into it and appreciate its complexities, it reveals everything. Manipulating the available space very well with moments of isolation, brief blasts of sound, and layer upon layer of that vintage, marshy, boggy Parnay Muir sound. Beyond that, a fair few of the remixes here dip into that acidic style of dubstep that has been popularised recently by the likes of Sudden Death, Graphite, E-Craze and more. With Basic, Sora, Misfit Massacre and Triple honing in on that technique to deliver that shiny metallic freshness to the compilation. Lest this apparent sameness be interpreted in any negative way, on the flip side I feel that not having as many different dubstep styles actually works in the label's favour. They can now be signposted as delivering a particular thing, being part of a movement, having their own individual say within that scene. Plus, as I already mentioned, there's variety enough here to keep this thing ticking along swimmingly from beginning to end. And aside from all this, there are a plethora of other moments in these issue 1 remixes that I must give a shout out to. Like at 2 minutes 18 of the Yari track and that brilliant momentary integration of Guillotine's sound. All those skittish moments to the drop in the Misfit Massacre remix. The funny vocal touches to the ends of the remixes by Basic and Yari. The first double drop to the Redax remix. I mean, honestly, this is one of my favourite straight up ravenous BROSTEP drops that I've heard in a while. So manic.
We've seen great power, but nothing like
The snappy breaks in the Parne Mura remix, for the most part squelchy, encapsulating his style in those short snippets, like the spawning of an alien life form. The interaction between melody and that glistening, visceral dubstep in Sora's remix. The menace and bite adopted by Triple in the progression of his drops, the increased aggression, a very natural development. The little interjections of sound in Guillotine's remix that really make it what it is, my favourites probably coming at first at 2 minutes 43. It's those really brief I hope that was a good impression and that I completely embarrassed myself. And lastly, the sheer difference brought to the table by Spitfire with that dreamy, storytelling, epic approach that also gave the original compilation that grand finale. Which you should definitely check out if you enjoyed this compilation and haven't already. And so that is that for another review on the Nawtystep channel, this time of the remix compilation of issue 1 from Odio Records. Thank you very much, and as always, for tuning in. Be sure to leave a comment below with your thoughts on this compilation. Which tracks did you enjoy? Which artists had you not heard of before listening to this compilation? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, then give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload to the channel. Next to my head there should be some other reviews on this channel of stuff from Odio Records, so check those out if you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and follow Nawtystep across all social media if you haven't already, with everything linked, including the SoundCloud page of Odio Records, in the description box down below. And lastly, and as ever, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure, as always, to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see you in the next one. Peace out.